We come out once a week. The summertime, a couple times. This summer we'll be out probably 3 days a week because we have several projects going on. We got some recent money from NSF to look at ocean acidification as it relates to bivalve mortality, soft shell clam mortality in Casco Bay. So Lane is he's my full-time lab tech. He was a student who now works for me. So these are two 20-foot by 20-foot rafts, they're called. It's an aquaculture operation that I used to grow mussels from it. Now I grow oysters, and the oysters are suspended in cages. Watch your fingers. Most people grow oysters on the seafloor. Because these are suspended, they get about a 30% larger, oyster meat on the inside, and they're completely sediment-free. So it's a really nice aquaculture product. Up here.
It's a lot of fun being out here. It's a great experience too. It's kind of like, a field trip in school, kind of one of those things.
We've had students do various projects out here looking at different growth rates, different size classes of oysters, measuring chlorophyll in the water and try to correlate that with growth. Just all sorts of just kind of simple stuff, but that's real hands-on. And this kind of epitomizes hands-on type learning.
I mean, you can learn stuff sitting in a class reading a book. You can see pictures of it, but actually getting out here, working with the oysters, working with the clams, nothing's better than hands-on, obviously. So the applied science, like Dr. Green said, it's priceless.
This is science in action here. I mean, you got to know what the water current is, you got to know what the temperature regime is, you got to know the chlorophyll concentrations and all, the salinity fluctuations. You got to know where the thermocline is, the warm lens of water on the surface relative to the bottom. You got to suspend the oysters in the proper place. I mean, so there's all sorts of good, basic science that's applied when the students come out here and they can start thinking a little bit about it. And then they can see, it's clear as day, you can see, oh, these oysters, on this edge are growing, on this end are growing much faster, and you can think about it in relation to water currents and temperature and stuff like that.
It's nice to see, the process. I've been helping Lane out in the lab. So you start them out in the tank, or you start them out in the upweller, and then eventually they move out here, they grow. So he's had some of the oysters out here for 3 years, and we're actually bringing some in the market today. So it's like a culmination of his work, a culmination of our work, me helping Lane, him helping Dr. Green. So it's just, you get to see the process, you get to see how it works.
We're starting an aquaculture course next year, actually, which I'm really psyched about. And we're going to be culturing phytoplankton, culturing what are called rotifers, culturing fish. We're going to grow tilapia. Cafeteria is actually really psyched about that because they're going to buy them from us, so it's going to be we'll be able to get the money that we spend on tilapia back. I think science is interesting. You go to the classroom, it's all fun, and labs can be cool and everything else, but I think the best part of science is when you get students out involved, in the field, when they can apply what they learn. And then it all starts to come together, makes sense, wow, this is pretty cool. That's what you're talking about during that boring lecture.
Doesn't get much better than this in Maine. It's not even summertime yet, so it's pretty nice out here.
So these are famous Basket Island oysters grown by the students of St. Joseph's College. They also get served in the cafeteria periodically, which is a lot of fun. When students graduate, we've been very successful. They want to go to graduate school, they can go to graduate school. They want to get a job at a consulting firm or with the federal government. These days, you get 250, 300 resumes on your desk after you after you advertise for the position. What's going to make the difference? What is it that's going to, and very often it's the field work. It's being able to say, oh yeah, I spent the last 2 years, working on a boat or working on this project or working on that project. Have you ever sampled water? Oh yeah, I sample all the time. And we have several students each year that end up with names on a paper that we get published. We're writing a really nice paper, and Lane's the second author on it from some really nice work, and we're trying to get that published in Nature. But we've had students published in Deep Sea Research and Limnology Oceanography and Journal of Marine Research.
Before I went into college, I would never imagine myself doing something like this, and then I started meeting Mark Green and internships with him, then turned into a job, and I would not want it like any other way. It's fun, it's amazing, it's a great experience.